And welcome into the program. This is Protect and Grow Chicagoland Retirement with Chicagoland's certified financial planning professional. He is Tim Stearns, CFP, president and founder of TJ Stearns, Inc., a resource for proactive planners and savers across and throughout the Chicagoland area. Always a pleasure to have you here on the program Protect and Grow, Tim. And today we are going to be talking about the great wealth transfer. Over the next 20 years, an unprecedented amount of wealth is expected to change hands generationally. However, it may not all end up in the hands that is intended.
Well, yeah, Peter, if they don't do proper planning, that could end up in the wrong hands, which would be the IRS and probate and the courts and everywhere else that they don't mean it to be.
And this is no insignificant amount of money, Tim. I mean, it's estimated that up to $80 trillion is expected to pass along in this great wealth transfer. And I guess ironically, it is the best planning opportunity, I think, that has presented itself here in this generation's course of planning.
Well, I mean, there's so much money in these retirement accounts that they can pass to their children. They have family homes that are going to change ownership. Businesses are sold. Investment portfolios are inherited. I mean, there's all kinds of things, and are the families going to participate? Will the family be even prepared for it? Those are the questions that need to be answered.
And it's not that this is going to happen. It's already begun. We are
Yeah.
already in the process of this great wealth transfer.
Right. It's happening now. Every family will eventually experience this wealth transfer, but yes, it is happening right now, but preparation needs to be happening now as well.
Well, if you would like to make preparations, ladies and gentlemen, whether it's for your own financial future or for that legacy that you intend to leave behind, you want to make it something valuable and impactful as well as pass along your values. That is part of the planning process there at TJ Stearns, Inc. That's part of the Protect and Grow Written Retirement Blueprint to help you in your own planning progress with your investments, your allocation, your risk tolerance, taxes, fees, risks, making sure that you understand and address those, as well as the legacy intentions that you have. So to help you achieve your long-term financial goals, that is what the planning process there at TJ Stearns is all about. Give them a call for your complimentary Protect and Grow Written Retirement Blueprint, 800-640-2256, 800-640-2256. But Tim, when we talk about legacy, I mean, we're talking more than just dollars and cents and inheritance. We are talking about value, yes, but values as well.
Right. Money is only part of the legacy. There's wisdom that often outlasts that wealth. You want to prepare the heirs, not just the assets. And there's so much more that goes into that, making sure that you pass on your ethics, your morals, that type of thing.
What do you think is the biggest challenge, the biggest threat to this generational wealth transfer?
Well, I think it's a lack of planning that I'm seeing. There's things like the probate delays, outdated beneficiary designations, family disagreements because communication hasn't happened ahead of time, poor investment decisions, missed tax opportunities, and assets that are difficult to divide.
I was fairly confident you were going to say taxes, Tim, but tax is certainly going to be a part of that, right?
Of course, taxes, I mean, everyone knows that that's the obvious one, but there's so much more too.
Some assets are better to be left behind than others, though, from a tax standpoint, right?
Well, yeah, of course, there's some that, like highly tax efficient ones like Roth IRAs, appreciated brokerage accounts because they have that step up basis, real estate that receives a step up basis, life insurance proceeds, and then, of course, properly structured trusts.
But what are most people actually leaving behind, Tim?
Usually it's less efficient products such as like traditional IRAs, traditional 401ks, certain annuities, and poorly titled assets.
Now, some planners may have already constructed what they hoped to be their legacy plan. However, rules have changed. Retirement accounts have changed.
Well, yeah, with the Secure Act. So that's why there's some planning opportunities out there, such as Roth conversions, making strategic withdrawals, beneficiary planning, and of course, charitable planning.
And then, Tim, of course, the IRS, one of the largest recipients of this great wealth transfer, unintended recipients of this great wealth transfer. One that we can sort of control, perhaps not as controllable. Another one of the larger unintended recipients, which is the healthcare expenses that might go out the window before the money changes generations.
Well, yeah, it's healthcare is a huge one, and that's long-term care. Strategies worth discussing that I've done with our clients is, long-term care insurance, hybrid life insurance, asset-based care strategies, Medicaid planning, healthcare reserve planning, things that people aren't talking about with their other advisors that we see. Some of these other advisors are still stuck in this. It's only about stocks and bonds. There's so much more out there. Healthcare is going to impact legacy. Medicare doesn't pay for custodial long-term care. Those are the things that we're seeing.
Planning, therefore, Tim, protects not only our independence, but the inheritance value that transfers to the intended recipients as well, correct?
Of course. Yeah. And that's exactly what we're making sure that all the cards are out on the table.
Tim, you've mentioned beneficiary designations a couple times, and of course, anytime we're talking about transferring of wealth generationally, those beneficiaries are going to be important. But what would you gauge as kind of the proportion that you believe or that you see of planners that actually have their legal documents correct, in place, and up to date? Would you say it's a large percentage that do have it, or maybe larger that have overlooked this important step?
I would say less than 50% have their documents in order. I mean, you're looking at wills, trusts, durable power of attorney, healthcare power of attorney, living wills, their beneficiary designations up to date, transfer on death registrations, digital asset instructions, those types of things.
Documents matter.
Absolutely. And a lot of people don't realize that beneficiary designations generally override your wills.
So, Tim, as we are looking at constructing these proactive plans, the Protect and Grow Written Retirement Income Plan, you're helping people review these things?
Absolutely. That is one thing that we've added to our repertoire here is that we are looking at estate planning. We have an estate attorney on staff, which is huge, that we use. When people are stuck in a quandary where they don't know if their things are updated or not, we make sure that those are reviewed.
How would you gauge the importance of just open family communication in this process going smoothly, Tim?
Well, a lot of people we have run into, there's been a disconnect where, the silence often creates confusion and, they don't realize who's responsible, where the documents are located, family values, what the expectations were, what their intentions were. And, clear communication can preserve relationships as much as the wealth.
And of course, Tim, one of the biggest opportunities you talk about in our own personal planning, but on an ongoing basis, and certainly right now being a critical opportunity, the role of tax planning, the importance of tax planning really cannot be understated.
Well, I mean, I don't know anyone, regardless of political affiliations, that wants to pay more than their fair share of taxes. We've talked about that 100 times on this our podcast. You know, Roth conversions are out there, qualified charitable distributions, lifetime gifting, appreciate security donations, trust planning, strategic withdrawal sequencing. The goal is simple here. We want to keep the more wealth inside the family and less unnecessarily lost to taxes.
Tim,
Those are the things that we're trying to do for our clients.
and I'm sure you understand this and your clients through the planning process would, but leaving money is wonderful. But leaving an inheritance and confidence with that inheritance, that's what planning is all about.
Well, make sure the things that we tell our clients, make sure your affairs are organized, taxes have been considered, family members understand the plan, assets will transfer efficiently, and loved ones know exactly what to do and where to go get the documents and that type of thing.
That confidence, Tim, comes from the organization of the plan, how it's structured and put together, and how easily that is understood by those intended beneficiaries.
Exactly. I'll use my family as an example. With my mom, my brothers and I have gotten together probably once every couple of years just to make sure that we're all on the same page, to make sure everyone understands exactly what's going on.
Well, the great wealth transfer, a phenomenon that is already underway, again, up to $80 trillion estimated to change hands generationally. The impact of that will not be about the amount of wealth, it will be about the planning and the organization. How much of that goes to unintended recipients like the IRS, like healthcare expenses and the nursing homes, and how much actually goes to build the lasting impact and confidence in your loved ones, your family, your beneficiaries. That is what the plan is all about, and why Tim Stearns and the team there at TJ Stearns Inc. put together for their clients and make an offer to do so for you on a complimentary, no-cost basis, that Protect and Grow written retirement blueprint. If you'd like to get yours put together, all you got to do is pick up the phone, give a call, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256, 800-640-2256. You can also go online, tjstearns.com. That is tjstearns.com. Tim Stearns, CFP, TJ Stearns Inc., home of the Protect and Grow written retirement blueprint, a resource for proactive planners and savers in and throughout Chicagoland. Tim, we always appreciate you being here and sharing your insights on this phenomenon, the great wealth transfer.
Thanks, Peter. Thanks for having me.
Tune into Chicagoland certified financial planner Tim Stearns' full radio program and visit tjstearns.com for many valuable resources, including other great episodes of Chicagoland Retirement. Be sure to subscribe.
Investment advisory services offered through Cornerstone Securities, LLC. The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature, not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals or growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs.